Hey y'all, welcome to Collard Valley Cooks. Today we are making one of my favorites, and that's vegetable beef soup. It's a good old Southern comfort food, and we're going to have some good old cornbread with it. Let's get started. All right, y'all. Everybody loves good old vegetable soup with beef in it. We like ground beef in ours. And we are going to make the most delicious soup today and make us some good old cornbread. We're going to start with the soup, browning our ground beef, and then I'm going to show you what I put in my vegetable soup that makes it so good. All right, so we're going to get over to the stove and we're just going to brown our beef in the same pot that we're going to cook our soup in. Marcy loves it when I start supper. She just starts playing, throwing the ball around. It's so funny. I guess she knows that I'm going to cook up something good to eat. She might just get a bite. All right, this is actually chuck instead of beef. It was on sale. When it's on sale, I get it. But it don't have any fat in it. So I might have to put just a little bit of fat in here with it. You can choose whatever fat you want to put in here. You can use butter. You can use a little bacon grease. You can use a little olive oil. Whatever you want to do, it works. And if you've got beef that's got plenty of fat in it, you don't need to add anything anyway. But now when you're browning chuck, you just about have to add something in there so that it don't stick. And it's good to have when you brown sausage or ground beef, ground turkey or pork, whatever you're browning. I like to use it for some other stuff too. All right. We're going to let that keep browning right there. Make sure all your beef's out of the middle of it. We're going to let that simmer for a minute while you're going to peel 4 potatoes and 2 large carrots and an onion. And we're going to put all this in our soup. And since it's soup, it can be in big pieces. Pieces that'll fit in a spoon is the best size. And I'm using Rada knives. They're nice and sharp. They have, this peeler is actually a deluxe peeler and will cream corn. It's wonderful. A wonderful tool to have. Now, my mama used to scrape her carrots with the back of a knife. Well, actually with the sharp part of the knife. But I just use a peeler. Mama never had a peeler. I'm going to start adding all of our good ingredients in this thing in just a minute. So while you're peeling your vegetables, your beef should have time to brown. Now, you don't want to cut these so big that they're not going to get done. So I like to slice them pretty thin. Okay, we're going to be using a little bit of frozen vegetables. So we have the fresh potatoes, carrots, and onion. But then I get a few things out of the frozen section. I use corn, preferably shoe peg, not a real sweet corn, because it'll make your soup taste sweet, which I'm not crazy about because the tomatoes already give it a sweet taste as it is. So I prefer shoe peg or this just white and yellow corn instead of sweet corn. All right, and it's sweet, but not too sweet. Get you some green peas, sweet peas. I like butter peas in mine. You can use baby lima beans. I like speckled butter beans. And so now all of these are kind of expensive to buy in these little packages, but think about the fact that we're going to have this huge pot of soup, and you can put it up in the freezer and pull it out on a cold day that you don't feel like cooking. That's what's so great about soup, is it does freeze well.
If you're enjoying this video, please give us a like. If you're new to the channel, please head down, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell for notifications when new videos are uploaded.
We're going to be using a can of diced tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and open that up with my handy dandy can opener. Chris said some lady said she bought like 15 of these and gave them out for Christmas gifts last year, and how much everybody loved them. So if you need a good idea for a Christmas gift, these are really nice to have for arthritis use, you know, for somebody that's got arthritis. Now I'm using a big can of tomatoes today. We're going to be using the original V8 juice. May want to shake it up good. I don't think I shook it good enough. Got to get all that stuff off the bottom before you pour it up. We're going to be using some Mrs. Dash original, some beef bouillon granules. We're going to get this started. Let's add our liquid first. 2 cups of water and 2 cups of V8. We're going to add 2 cups of water, 2 cups of V8. And if you don't have V8, you can use tomato juice. A can of diced tomatoes, and this is a 28-ounce can, large can. Our vegetables. So you got those good potatoes and carrots, delicious onion. It'll be good, y'all. We're going to use a tablespoon of Mrs. Dash. A tablespoon of Knorr beef bouillons granules. It's 1.5 cups of speckled butter beans. 1.5 cups of the corn. 1.5 cups of the peas. 1.5 cups of butter beans. These are the little ones. Butter peas is what they're called. We're going to add salt and pepper. We're going to use a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper and 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt. This is 3/4, so it's just 2 of these. And I think that's it. All right, we're going to add a little bit of water until everything's covered. You can add broth if you want to instead of water, but we've got that bouillon in there, which makes it taste like broth already. We're going to get this on the stove. This big pot of soup. Let's get it on the stove. Now, because I browned that ground beef in the same pot, I will make sure that once that warms up, I go up there and scrape those tidbits off the sides and bottom of that pot, because you don't want your soup to stick. And that way, all of those juicy bits will get into the soup and make it taste really good. Remember, if you're using a ground beef, to drain it before you make your soup. Mine didn't have any grease in it except for the olive oil that we added to make the, except for the olive oil we use to help brown that ground beef. And so I didn't have to drain mine. We will see you guys in a couple of hours when this is good and tasty and has gotten cooked. All the vegetables are done and fork tender. We'll see you then. We're going to make a small 8-inch size cornbread. So it's a half recipe of my 2-cup recipe. So it's a 1-cup recipe. I'll just grab some Crisco, grease it good, and it'll be crunchy if you do it this way. Trust me. You don't have to preheat it in the oven. You should try it if you've never tried my trick. And then you just take a little bit of your cornmeal mix and you just kind of sprinkle it around the edges like so. And that's how you fix your skillet. Simple. Now for the cornbread, I start with, this is a 1-cup recipe. You're going to melt just about a tablespoon and a half, something like that, of butter. You're going to put in 1 cup of cornmeal mix, self-rising. There's 1 cup. An egg. A little oil. And it could be any kind of oil. And then buttermilk. 3/4 cup of buttermilk. And that's whole buttermilk. We're going to mix this up. Beat up that egg a little bit. And we're just going to mix it up. Pretty simple. That's pretty runny. I'm going to add just a little bit of cornmeal to it. That's a little runnier than I want it to be. It would probably make cornbread, but I like for it to be about like that. You're just going to put this in a preheated oven, and we're going to bake it at 425 degrees till it's nice and golden brown. Should take it about 20 minutes at least, and can take it a little longer. All right, let me tell you something about cornbread. The thinner the buttermilk, the thinner the mix. Okay, so if you're using a fat-free buttermilk, you might want to just add it a little bit at a time, or just add a little extra cornmeal mix in there like I did. You don't want it to be runny. You want it to be kind of thick like gravy. All right, we're going to put this in the oven. Okay, y'all, it is ready and I'm hungry. So we're going to grab our cornbread out of the oven and flip it upside down right here. And you'll see that it's got a nice brown crunchy crust. If you can hear this, it's crunchy. Beautiful piece of cornbread. It's good and done. All your vegetables are nice and soft. So we're going to pour us up a helping of it. And I think I'm going to use my pasta bowls. I'm going to use a big pasta bowl, and that way y'all can see the pretty soup. But it's pretty. Got all those colors in it. Got plenty of vegetables and beef. It looks delicious. Oh, that smells so good. And then you can cut you a piece of cornbread. You can butter it if you want to, but I personally just love it in the soup. Nothing better to me than a good old bowl of soup with cornbread. It reminds me of my granny more than anything. Nothing reminds me of my granny more than sweet potato pie and vegetable soup. because she put up vegetable soup every year, and she always had it on the table. If the kids stayed for lunch, she would open a quart jar of her vegetable soup and give us a good old biscuit, and we would sop up that soup with our biscuit. And when I smell it even today, it reminds me so much of her. This is a really good soup. It's got all those different kinds of beans in it, which makes it taste really good, and beef. And putting the beef broth in there helps it too. Gives it a delicious flavor with the spices from Mrs. Dash. But it's hot. I better put it down, y'all. When I get a bite. Oh my goodness, this is good soup. Mmm, mmm, mmm. Sop up some of that juice on your cornbread. You just won't find a better soup, I guarantee you. Mmm, mmm, mmm. It's some good eating. I hope y'all have enjoyed watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. And of course, both of these recipes are in our master cookbook, which is up for pre-order now. Will be in stock in November. We will see you next time on Collard Valley Cooks. Cooking like Mama did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.